Hello there, my YouTube family. How are you? This community is on the move. Thank you so much for writing me and emailing me. Thank you so much for my new subscribers. So as you listen to the videos, please don't forget to subscribe. I thank you so much for all of the encouragement that I'm receiving because of the videos, and that the videos are helping you. That's my whole goal. You need to be free. You need to grow. Many of you don't understand. Many people don't understand what we go through in a narcissistic relationship. But God is faithful, and He's a protector, and He will constantly give you wisdom so you can make the right choices. And many of you are writing because many of you over the holidays received a discard, and then some of you were Hoover, and you were very, how can I say, surprised that he would discard you or she would discard you over the holidays, because they knew that would hurt you tremendously, and you are having to deal with it. So I want to talk about the narcissist discard damage, because discard damage you. You went through a lot of devaluation, gaslighting. You don't went through a lot of lies and mockery, and you don't went through a lot of abuse and torment up to the discard stage. And of all the times during the holidays, why would he discard you during the holidays? The narcissists need pain because they have this empty hole on the inside of them, and out of who they are, that's how they give themselves to you. And how you see them is how you give yourself to them. You don't see them with a gaping hole. You see someone that you love, someone that you care for, even though they are deviant and they are malicious. Sometimes we make up excuses for them, and you would say that, well, if he had this, then he wouldn't do that, and he's only doing this because of whatever it is that you give excuses for. But the narcissist is a devastator. The narcissist is a predator, and you are a prey. It would be different if the narcissist could change and love you, but there is no change. There is no love, and you have to superimpose over everything they do, especially if you're married to the narcissist. The narcissist did not love you for marriage. The narcissist loved you. He married you for fuel. You are like a supply. They need a supply, and supply is like appliances. So if you know what you do with appliances, you use them. They don't have feelings. And you can use them, you can drop them, you can do whatever you want to do with them, and it would be the same. That's the way that you are seeing with a narcissist. And I ministered last time on being groomed for pain. Many of you are being groomed for pain. You did not grow up in a narcissistic relationship, and somehow you got into the frequency of a narcissist, and the narcissist was aware of your naivety, and they took advantage of this. Some of these narcissists have had hundreds of relationships. They're very, very skilled. They are very masterful when it comes to overthrowing your emotions, changing your structure of thinking, changing your perception, changing how you view yourself, and changing how you view them. And when you change how you view yourself, how you view the narcissist also assists you in changing how you think about the people around you. You want the narcissist so bad. You love the narcissist so bad until you have become a defender and a protector of a predator. And this predator take your emotions on roller coaster rides. I mean, every day is something different, and you find yourself having entertained the narcissist, and it is not easy because their standard for what entertainment they want to ingest changes every single day. You can never please them because you never locate them. They never stay emotionally in one place, and then when you finally hit it and the mask start coming off, the narcissist wants to move on. They want to go on because they don't want you ever to discover their real self, because their real self have holes in it. Even when you get a golden child The golden child have no say so. Their life is mastered out because the parent has a tendency to live through that golden child. Unlike regular people who do this all the time, the narcissist is malicious. They don't have feelings toward that golden child. So they take that golden child, make all the decisions for them, and they ruin them until the golden child is really locked within themselves. And they start living out the program instead of living out who they are, and they've lost content of who they are. They've lost the spectrum of who they are, and so now they become this filter of evil. They become this hole that has been trained, that has been built, that has been cut in their life. And you meet a person who has a cut of pain, who has a cut of torment, who is within themselves, and you try to love them and they won't let you love them. The love bombing of a narcissist, I don't think nobody can do greater than the love bombing of a narcissist. And when you fall hard. You fall head over heels. And if it look like anybody is going to tell you a truth which you see because the mask is off, but you're not ready for it, you want to be disillusioned. I want to love him, and I don't want nobody talking about him because I'm not ready to give them up. I'm not ready to give her up. So you get the narcissist discard damage. That damage package has to be, in order for you to get your mind back, to get restored, you got to go to healing. You have to go to deliverance. None of that start like an alcoholic. You must get to go to AAA and say, I am an alcoholic. Okay, let me acknowledge what I am, because when I acknowledge what I am, I acknowledge what I need, and I'm acknowledging what I'm doing, and I'm acknowledging that I need to change. Well, the narcissist will never acknowledge those things. The narcissist will acknowledge that you need to change. You need to change so I can be happy. You need to change so I can fulfill myself. And you are damaged. You are so damaged until you have mental damage, you have psychological damage, you have emotional damage, your organs are damaged, your hormones are damaged, high blood pressure, you are anemic, you have intestinal issues, sleep issues, your sleep pattern is all off, you are isolated from people, you don't want to be around people, and you are now so embarrassed. You're afraid of how they will see you, how they will look at you, and you know because the narcissist has really tortured you so until now you realize, I need to do something about this. I need to do something about my life. I need to do something about my children. I can't let them keep torturing the children, because now the children's mind is different than the regular mind of a regular child. When you go through narcissistic parents and your parents are denying you, changing you, and you are in school trying to study, you are in school trying to focus, and then they come home, you come home, then you get disciplined because you could not focus in school. Well, if a parent who's the adult cannot focus, how can the child focus? Narcissistic discard damage is really tremendous, because when they discard you, it's like throwing away trash. When you throw away something that you don't want, how often do you think of that thing? You don't. You're looking for something new, something to replace that. You no longer find pleasure in it because it's old, and you just want to let it go. You just want to get it out of your space. You want to get it away from you. And that's the way people feel when the narcissist has handled them and mishandled them, misdirected them, misguided them. And just when you think that you're going to leave, the narcissist come around with love bombing. The narcissists come around, they act right. Why? Because you are a mainstream supply. He wants to play, she wants to play, but they don't want to get rid of that mainstream supply, because when all else fail, they can come back home. When all else fail, they still got a main supply that love them and care for them, and they can still do anything they want to do. But you have sustained damage, and you're wondering, I'm losing my mind. God, I need your help. You know, I've had doctors to come, and that fell in love with a narcissist, a full MD, and before you know it, they lost their licenses. They're no longer fit for work. They can't think, they can't eat, they can't sleep, because the narcissist wants to become your whole world. When you get people that wants to become your whole world, it's dangerous because you don't have time for yourself. Just when you get time for yourself, all of these things start coming up. All these things you got to do. You got to please the narcissist. You got to go here, and you can't have this and you can't have that. And so the damage of your mind, and what you don't realize, years of that has an impact on the brain. When they do an ultrasound of the brain have spots and dark spots where they have been just so tormented until the brains tried to save the specimen. And so the brain now wants to shut down because it's too much pressure. And a lot of people, many of you now are seeing psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists to make it, but you keep going back. When a Hoover comes, you don't have to accept the Hoover. When you know that you need to be reprieved, don't go back to the narcissist. Every time you go back, it's going to get worse. Every time you go back, the sustaining of that relationship get less and less. The narcissist won't sustain that relationship. The narcissist won't give themselves to that relationship because the narcissist is self-concerned. He's not concerned about you. So you never come out. You are in like a roller coaster. You're like a hamster. The hamster keep running and running and running and running, and it just keep going round and round and round. There is no resolve. There is no turnaround. And the one thing you have to do, you cannot lose your compassion for who you are. You cannot allow them to drain you until there's nothing else to give. And the narcissist will take and drain you and just take everything until he will train you to do it. You would do it because now you don't know how to give yourself to people. You only know how to give yourself to a narcissist. And the narcissist had to be where they take copious amount from you at one time. They don't give you a chance to reprieve. And you have to learn what it takes for you to live, and you have to do that. But many of you won't live. You saw the devastation coming. You saw the devaluation coming. You heard what he said. They had something to say every single day. And then they stay home, gone a day, gone 2 days. They got 3 and 4 phones, and each phone is turned down. And you know that they're cheating. You know there's triangulation, but you will not yield to the truth. You make excuses for them, and as long as you make excuses for a narcissist, you are not setting yourself free. You are not setting yourself free. You're not educating yourself the way you should educate yourself. Love does not hurt. Love does not overthrow. Love does not consider you. Love always consider the other person. Love always build the other person. And some of you thought the narcissist was gone, that he would never, ever, ever hoover you. The narcissist hoovered you during the holidays. And many of the time, those of you who allowed the narcissist to come during the holidays, now the holidays is over. It was temporary. Do you know every time you allow the narcissist to come back, that the time gets shorter and shorter that they stay? The love bombing is not gold. The love bombing is bronze. And then if it's not bronze, it's hay. That means it's just enough to keep you and hook you. And then they move on. They move on down the line. The narcissist would even marry you if that's what it takes to hold on, but it's not a marriage. And that's why many of you get married and you're saying, what is this? I don't have time with you. I don't feel your love for me. The narcissist is like, what they got to do with it? You know, just do what I tell you to do, or I'm leaving. The narcissist is like a spoiled child. They have temper tantrums and they want to have their way. They want to have their way at your expense. So it does not matter. You have sustained damage. Anytime you do damage to the mind, anytime you do damage to the heart, it has to be healed. You have to heal the damage. You have to heal the damage. Your children, heal the damage. Heal the damage. In the name of Jesus. I think that when I'm ministering or I'm counseling someone or talking to someone, and they are so broken until their whole family is broke, the children are broken. I mean, the parent is broken, the specimen is broken, and nobody is experiencing wholeness. Excuse me. That can be devastating. Acknowledge what is happening. You love the narcissist, okay? And you will. If you spend 3 months with a narcissist, it probably would take you a year to 2 years to get over that. And if you spend 25 years with a narcissist, can you imagine your healing? It's going to take a while for you to heal. Why? Because you love them. And you, just because they're not there doesn't mean you don't love them. They didn't love you, but you love them. And so now you're having to work out those emotions every day, 365 days, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for 25 years. You were hammered, you was lied to. Some of you contracted disease from them and they gave some lame excuse and you took them back. I mean, so many things going on until the narcissist sees you, but you're like a ghost to them. And now it's not the narcissist ghosting, it's you. You're disappearing because they don't want the responsibility anymore. The narcissists want to play, or the narcissists think or you think you're in love with the narcissist, and you just give yourself. You no longer reason, you no longer think about it, and they are only there temporary. But you're thinking, at least they are there. At least I have them, and you really don't. You really don't. Because the whole time the narcissist is with you, the narcissist is looking for a new supply. And that's why you can feel them ghosting. And that's why you can feel them. They don't want to be bothered. You know what pleased them? You don't know what pleased them. They're like scrambled in their mind. They're scrambled in their desire. Nothing is stable. Nothing is set. So your system is totally upset. You're shaking in your belly. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You're devastated. Your whole system is off. Your bowels are off. You go to the doctor and the doctor tell you to rest. They give you volume make you sleep. You can't sleep because you got kids, but you are in devastation. And some of you are on the edge of a breakdown instead of a breakthrough. God wants you to know that you don't have to put up with this. You don't have to allow the devastation that's getting ready to come to pass. You don't have to allow that devastation, because God has given you the wisdom to demand change. You have to demand change. The final discard doesn't usually go to the narcissist, because the narcissist never discard. They want you to discard, but they never permanently discard. They never permanently discard. Yeah, they never permanently discard. You do the permanent discard. You get so tired until you say, I'm done. I'm done. I've had enough. I've had enough damage. I'm going to the doctor every day. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm aging. They're getting younger and I'm getting older. The children are scared. And some of you got children 19 years old. They're still urinating on themselves. They still urinate in the bed. And then you have to take care of the children. You are the adult. Don't be afraid to speak out. But in order to be afraid to speak out, you have to get yourself together. When you get a discard, that's damage, because you feel like you're a throwaway. You feel like you're trash. You feel like there's no meaning. You feel like there's no value to your life. You're always valuable. You're always valuable. But if you don't recognize that, it's still meaningless. So when you get a narcissistic discard, that is damage, because that is the narcissist is telling you you're trash. You know, you don't mean anything to me. And when you love someone and you listen to those words, you almost feel desperate enough to do anything, desperate enough to keep them, feeding them anything they want at your expense, giving them anything they want at your expense. The woman that was a doctor lost her license, lost her company, lost her business for the narcissist. And she ended up being with the narcissist 25 years. And 25 years later, she's still with the narcissist. Think about it. Is that what you want for your life? Is that what you want to continue? Is that what you want over and over and over again? You can do something about it. You can change your mind When you change your mind, you change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you change your perception. When you change your perception, you would change your life. When you change your life, you would change your environment. When you change your environment, you would change your culture. When you change your culture, you can change your life. Narcissist doesn't hold the right to keep you and to cause you to die in order to live. They don't. Take your power back. Take your life back. And know that you do not have to be devastated because you have been discarded. And the thing is, the narcissist never permanently discard you. They always come back. Always come back. The only reason they don't come back is because you have said something, did something that has really wounded them. And they can't take you risking hurting them again. Other than that, the narcissist will be back. They say they won't, they will. They will. Well, here we go. I know this seemed like it wasn't a tremendous teaching, but many of you have wrote me and said, the damage, is there damage when he discarded me? Yes, plenty of damage. You are damaged. Keep listening to these videos. I promise you, you will get stronger and stronger, and it's not your fault. Stop blaming yourself. You didn't do anything. You connected with a narcissist who have gaping holes in their life, gaping holes in their mind, and they look to hurt you. They are predatory, and they look for prey. And the prey have to be in pain because there is no way a narcissist will change, but you can. Every day you can change. Well, I look forward to seeing you next time. I thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on tomorrow with another teaching. God bless you.